Welcome to South Summit High School. It's rivalry night. South Summit and North Summit in a big Region 16 game as both teams come into the night 3-1 and looking to finish off the first round of the 5-game Region 16 schedule, as each team will have played all 5 teams after the night in the region. And looking at the region standings, Summit Academy at the top at 4-0. South Summit and North Summit both 3-1, looking to try to stay within a game of Summit Academy tonight. And it's a big one tonight, as you'd like to be 4-1, obviously, coming out of this one. Going down to 3-2 will make it tough to catch back up to Summit Academy. As Summit Academy, highly probable they will not lose to anyone but possibly North or South Summit in the region. And so there's not much chance of getting first if you don't win tonight. So it's a big game, and there's always a big game between these schools, an exciting game, and you can feel the energy, and especially when we play some of the other teams that don't bring much of a crowd. This game brings a crowd, Jeremy, and it's pretty electric tonight.
Oh man, my heart's pounding right now. We haven't even begun yet. This place is packed. It's full of energy, like you said. Student bodies from both schools representing well. The North Summit Brave, those students are dressed up, and they're dressed up like they're going to come here and win this game, and that's the mentality they should have. But South Summit fan base over there, they're dancing around saying this is our home court and we're going to defend it. So that's just the student bodies, let alone talking about the actual basketball players out there. They're deep in the zone, getting warmed up right now, getting ready for a good rivalry matchup.
Girls put on a great game last Tuesday night, I believe it was. And tonight we'll expect nothing less out of these two great teams from a good county here in Summit County. So, exciting game tonight. North Summit coming into South Summit tonight with a good balanced attack led by Mason Richens, a senior, with 11 points tonight, followed by Curtis Calderwood, a senior, at 10 points tonight. Both Eric Wayman, Calvin Hunsaker averaging 7.5, Braden Richens at about 6.5, and Tyler Coleman at about 3.5. So a good balanced scoring attack for North Summit. Jim, as we mentioned, a big team, and big teams have been one of the challenges for South Summit this year, not having a real big post player, and North Summit brings a couple of them in tonight. So South Summit's going to have to work hard on the rebounds and really be smart on the defensive end, as we'll be tough pressed to stay out of foul trouble and really try to keep our starters on the floor, because we get pretty thin quickly as we get a young bench, some capable guys, but certainly you want to go with the first 7 or 8 that have brought you here.
That's right. You want to stay with your experienced players in a big game like this. So for some of these kids, it's one of the biggest ones they'll ever play in to this point. But like you said, the height of North Summit, I bet you they have three players that are taller than anybody on our team. And, that's proven to be a tough job for junior Caden Atkinson to try and fill in as a center when he's usually an outside perimeter shooter. But he's done a tremendous job trying to make the adjustment and fill in the place of the big man that we don't have.
It's a great point. Hopefully he's had some foul trouble tonight. We need all guys out on the court. Recently we've been getting great play from our senior leader, Mason Gines, averaging 15 points a night. Tanner Anderson has been playing good basketball as he's working back from a little back problem a couple weeks ago. He's been playing well. Caleb Peterson provided some great energy, and we got several juniors who play some good basketball. Nick Caden, Brandon Danzy, Parker Graycheck's been getting a little time, so it ought to be a fun time tonight as we're getting close to 140. As we mentioned, 2A rankings, we're getting close to playoff time. Only 6 more games in the region schedule. And as we look over the state rankings, Emory leads the state right now at 14-1. Layton Christian is leading its region at 13-4. The Summit Academy Bears at 13-3. Manti, a team we played earlier in the year, lost down in Manti, is the 4th place ranked team, and 5th place ranked team is North Sevier at 12-4. And Jeremy, 3 of those teams are in the region we're going to cross over with. And as you mentioned there, Emory, you don't want to be 4th place in this region, because that's who you'll drop. But there's not an easy 2nd or 3rd or 4th place in that region, as you have North Sevier, Manti, and San Juan, all good athletic basketball teams. So it's a big game tonight. 2nd place on the line in Region 16. Join us here in a couple of minutes. We'll have the national anthem, and we'll have the tip-off. Big one tonight in Region 16. Always a fun one. South Summit and North Summit. Thanks for joining us.
We will be singing as the Wildcat Band plays our national anthem.
Something about that song, Cody, just gives me the chills every time I hear it. Especially looking out here at North Summit and South Summit together, all unified.
Especially when you hear our great band play it. They do an incredible job, and it just livens this gym up. So we're ready for the starting lineups from both teams. And we'll get the North Summit Braves starters right here. We're pretty well confident on who's starting, but we'll make sure, as it looks like for sure, Braden and Mason Richards, the two twin seniors. Number 1, a junior, Calvin Hunsaker. A junior, as we mentioned, averaging 7.5 points a night. Number 4, Mason Richards, the leading scorer for North Summit at 11 points a game. Number 13, Curtis Calderwood, second leading scorer with 10 a night. Number 15, Eric Wayman, senior. And number 22, Braden Richards. So, great lineup there for North Summit, South Summit. The lights go out. We'll get the starting lineups. We mentioned, led by senior Mason Richards, one of the top scorers in 2A at 15 points a game. And typically, when Mason has good nights, South Summit has good nights, and he's had a lot of good nights this season, played extremely well. And hopefully he'll be on point tonight and get a lot of support from this group as we get AC/DC getting people thunderstruck here.
Well, thunderstruck. Never heard anybody.
Just a fun game, and for those of you joining at home, it's probably good you didn't come because it's packed. You'll have a good seat at home, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you a good game tonight. Starting for the Wildcats, number 1, Caden Atkinson, a junior. Number 11, Tanner Anderson, averaging 7 points a game. Caden Atkinson at 8. Number 20, a junior, Jason McNeil, averaging 6 points a night. A junior, Nick Beasley, at 10 points a night. And a 6'2 senior, number 23, Mason Gines, as we mentioned, at 15 points a night. So it doesn't get any bigger in the home region schedule than this. And I can promise you there won't be a better crowd this year as well. As we mentioned, it never brings out a better crowd than this game does. And we appreciate all the North Summit fans coming. For those of you people down in the North Summit area, hopefully you'll enjoy the broadcast, and we appreciate you joining us as well. We'll see which one of the two Richards boys are going to jump center. It looks like number 4, Mason Richards, looks like he's at the center, and he'll generally go up against Mason Gines.
Such a big game, Cody. KSL Saturday night, the game of the week. I see their cameraman here as well. A lot of media, a lot of coverage.
It's a packed house. Moments from tip-off. Ball goes in the air. And Mason Gines on the second attempt gets the ball. It's South Summit basketball. Anderson over to Atkinson. We're underway. Mason Gines, first shot of the game. Mason Gines with the three-pointer. Good sign for South Summit as the Wildcats go out to an early 3-0 lead, and South Summit will settle in to its typical man-to-man. Got to go inside Mason. Braden Richens with the jumper, no good. It's knocked out of bounds by Mason Richens. A little bit of an anxious shot there from Braden. It'll be South Summit basketball. And Nick Beasley gets the inbound. 30 seconds in the ball game. Shot for each team. Mason Gines with the three-pointer. 3-0 lead for the Wildcats. High screen from Caden Atkinson. Beasley goes over to Atkinson. North Summit in a man-to-man as well. Mason Gines directing traffic. Trying to bring up Nick to hand the ball off to him. Guarded closely there by Weymouth. Weymouth, and a good hustle there by Braden Richens going on the floor to get the loose ball. Great defense by the Braves, and the Braves are back on the offensive end. Hunsaker driving the lanes, no good. And there's the first foul of the ball game. That's going to be on Nick Beasley. First personal foul, first team foul, first foul of the game on Nick. It'll be South Summit defending as North Summit will inbound in their own baseline. Calderwood goes up over the top, high, and Beasley sneaks in, knocks it away. McNeil's on the break, out to Gines. Gines into the lane, gets shut down there by Braden Richens. Three-pointer up by Caden, no good. And the high rebound by Braden Richens. Weymouth comes down, run the point for the Braves, hands over to Hunsaker. Now he'll go to the top, and he hands over right wing to Calderwood. Over to Weymouth, into the lane, sneaks around, no good. Braden Richens with another board, goes up on a putback, and a fight for it, and down with it comes Mason Gines. Mason quickly up the right side, pulls up on a 16-footer at the baseline, no good, and Calderwood with the rebound. Quick tempo for South Summit, not wasting much time on the shot. Hunsaker goes baseline, hands off to Mason Richens with the jumper, no good. It goes right to Braden Richens, and it looks like he pushes from behind. It'll be the first North Summit foul on Braden Richens, his first personal.
3 points in 10 seconds, and then nothing since then. Nerves just settled in a little bit.
So Beasley now gets it going here for South Summit. Dribbles in the lane, gets all the way in the lane, goes up off the glass, reverse layup. Nick Beasley with a good-looking shot off the glass. 5-0 lead as South Summit gets the first 2 buckets of the ball game. And with 5:46 left, they lead by 5. Hunsaker slowly finds a high post look, nothing there. Goes baseline inside to Braden Richens, from then to Mason. It'll be a foul down low, and it'll be on Mason Gines, his first personal foul. So 2 quick fouls on South Summit, one on Mason, one on Nick. And not a good fouling start here for the Wildcats. Inside to Braden, good position. Up off the back of the iron, no good. Up high is Mason Gines. Great outlet to Tanner. Hard off the glass, no good. And Weymouth with the good rebound. Unbelievable outlet there by Mason. As now a kickback to Calderwood, too hard. And Beasley with the big board. Has it knocked away by Braden Richens, and he'll pick up 2 quick ones. And now Coach Johnson's got a decision to make. 2 personal fouls on Braden Richens. And coming up off the bench is number 3, Chris Richens. Tough break for North Summit as Braden picks up 2. And a bit of the size of the Braves goes down with a couple of fouls. It'll be South Summit basketball.
Well, that's what South Summit wanted. They wanted this shorter, quicker offense to come in, go right at these tall kids, and they're doing it.
Had the back cut, try to get the lob. Anderson pass goes off the rim, and Weymouth quickly into the lane. He's fouled. It's going to be on Tanner Anderson. Will pick up the foul. So 3 team fouls on the Wildcats. That'll send Weymouth to the free throw line and try to get North Summit its first points of the first 3 minutes.
Shot.
Nope, they got it on the drive. So the Braves will be inbounding. Calderwood will inbound to Mason Richens. Up top to a wide open Hunsaker. 3-pointer hard off the back of the glass. No good. And a fight for the ball. Coming down with the North Summit. Hunsaker goes baseline. Has the ball knocked away and stolen by Anderson. Over to Gines, and South Summit's on the move. Good defense there by Tanner. Into the lane goes Mason. Up off the glass. No good. And nice dribbling out of traffic. Calvin Hunsaker around his back and knocked away. And Calvin able to gather it up. And again, Hunsaker dribbles in the lane, up off the glass, no good. Rebound, Weymouth, no good. And Gines outlet quickly to Beasley. Beasley goes up off the glass, no good. And Calderwood with the board. Quick tempo as of late.
Nothing's easy, that's for sure.
Yep, there are not any free passes there. Our first timeout of the night. And we'll take a quick one. South Summit halfway through quarter number 1 leads 5-0. After a quick timeout, North Summit's got the ball down 5-0 lead for South Summit, 4:13 left in this first quarter. It'll be Mason Richens inbounding for North Summit, and he'll go off to Hunsaker. And South Summit now going into zone as they see themselves in a little bit of foul trouble, changing it up a little bit on the defensive side. And North Summit recognizing the change in defense, changing the offense up a little bit as Mason Richens tries to get a high post look. Carson Richens with the three-pointer. Not Carson, Chris Richens with the three-pointer. And North Summit's on the board as Chris Richens comes off the bench. Hits a big three-pointer, a much needed one for the Braves. It's a 5-3 lead for South Summit. And the North Summit student body starting to get loud. As a lot of excitement from each side, and they have some to cheer about there with the three-pointer from Richens. Tighten this ball game up to a 2-point lead as South Summit patient on this offensive possession. Mason Gines with the deep three-pointers, no good. Calderwood will chase it down, and Calderwood out quickly to Richens and over to Hunsaker. Hunsaker into the lane with the left hand, and it goes. Beautiful shot by Calvin Hunsaker. Softly off the back of the iron, rattles around and goes down as Hunsaker ties it all up at 5. So good time out there by the North Summit coaching staff. 5-0 run for the Braves. Beasley into the lane. He gets fouled and goes to the free throw line. And one, baby. So Beasley with 4 on the night. He'll go to the free throw line, try to make it a 3-point play. Foul on number 1, Calvin Hunsaker. His first personal foul, 13th foul on North Summit. And Beasley with a chance to get his 5th point of this first quarter. Beasley too hard off the iron, and Mason Gines goes up high. And they leave Beasley open, misses the three-pointer, and Mason Richens with the great defensive board. And Anderson's going to pick up his second personal foul.
That'll bring Brandon Danzy in the game.
So Danzy's been playing good minutes of late. Gets a little pep talk there from Hatch as Coach Hatch as he comes on to the court. 2:49 left, 7-5 lead South Summit. So it's McNeil, Beasley, Danzy, Gines, and Atkinson for South Summit. Chris and Mason Richens, Hunsaker, Weymouth, and Calderwood for the Braves. Chris Richens goes baseline, open jumper to Mason Richens, no good. And Gines with the big rebound. Gines got to have 4 rebounds already in this first quarter. Inside low to McNeil, loses the handle. As South Summit now trying to find some gaps. Dribbles hard right, guarded closely by Weymouth. And now over to an open Atkinson for 3, no good. Big rebound inside to Gines. Gines goes up. Oh, my goodness. Mason Gines falling down to the ground. Spun the ball off the back of the iron and glass. It rolls in. Beautiful shot by Mason. 9-5 lead, South Summit.
He's wearing the right number there. Reminiscent of an old 23 I used to know.
All right, Hunsaker in the lane. And he gets his second bucket. Nice take again by Hunsaker. 4 points for Calvin. 9-7 lead, South Summit. Little give and go, not there to Atkinson. McNeil into the lane, goes up high. Reverse layup, no good. Offensive board, Atkinson with the left hand. Great putback there by Caden. It's an 11-7 lead, South Summit. Well, not disappointing thus far. As Chris Richens, another wide open three-pointer, no good. It goes to Mason Gines. Mason outlets, knocked away, and it goes to Calderwood. Calderwood now down the middle of the lane, little runner bouncing around, no good, gets his own rebound, goes up again, no good, and Beasley tries to come down with it. It's knocked out of bounds by Mason Richens. South Summit basketball.
Man, they were playing with some intensity out there, Cody.
Lots of fighting for that rebound, good fighting, nice hustling as Coleman checks in for Mason Richens. Give him a little breather this last minute. As Mason held scoreless thus far in this first quarter. North Summit's leading scorer with 11. They'll need him back in the ball game as both Richens twins are out now. They bring in the junior Tyler Coleman. Another big body off the bench. Backdoor to Atkinson. Atkinson turnaround off the back of the iron, no good. And Calderwood clears for the Braves and goes over to Hunsaker. Back to the man-to-man defense for South Summit. With the size out for the Braves, South Summit a little easier to maneuver down low. And Hunsaker, a lot of dribbling out in the perimeter, looking for what he wants to go. They go over to Chris Richens. And Richens back to Hunsaker. Hunsaker out to Wayman. 18-footer in the corner, no good, and the rebound to Gines. Gines out quickly to Beasley. Beautiful pass. Jason McNeil on the fast break. South Summit running the break perfectly. Great assist by Nick Beasley. It's a 13-7 lead, South Summit. And Wayman hucks one up. It goes off the top of, let's see what we're going to do. Here we got a 0.1 second left as the referee called the ball dead when it went off.
Did it go off the top ceiling?
Yeah, it went off the beam at the top, right where the flag drops down.
Good thing it didn't knock down my new microphone up there.
So trying to decide how much time should be on the clock. Not much is going to happen with 0.1 seconds. Can't even catch and shoot with a 0.1, so I think they decided you got to have 0.4 to be able, even in the air, to be able to, oh, there they put it on. 2.1, so plenty of time now. South Summit can get one more shot up as McNeil will inbound. They go up high to Beasley. Had more time than that, and it's 0.6. And it'll be North Summit basketball. And he's deciding. Referee trying to decide something. Looks like he's going to call it's the quarter. So at the end of one, it's South Summit leading 13-7. We'll be back with second quarter action.
As we start this quarter, Cody, we get to see the Falvines walking off the court. Want to announce they took their region championship yesterday. Good for them.
They've had a great year. We'll get to see them at halftime perform one of their first place wins yesterday at the region title down in Richfield as North Summit back onto the court now as Chris Richens takes the first shot of the second quarter. Deep three, just a little long, and it'll be South Summit basketball. Beautiful pass inside from Gines. And just like that, South Summit gets the first bucket. And Atkinson now with 4 on the great assist as Hunsaker goes into the lane. And going up high is Mason Gines to try to block it. Gets a little of the body on Hunsaker. It'll be 2 now on Mason. And now 2 seniors with fouls. Mason Gines with 2, Tanner Anderson with 2, 5 team fouls on South Summit. And Coach Hatch, another decision to make about what to do here with Mason as Hunsaker's free throw is good. Hunsaker providing the offense for North Summit. He has 5 of the 8. And Chris Richens with a three-pointer as neither Braden nor Mason have been able to score yet, as well as Calderwood or Weymouth. So North Summit, Hunsaker carrying the load here. He's got missing the second, so he's got 5 of the 8. And South Summit quickly going to Danzy. Danzy over to Beasley. And Beasley's deep into the lane, dishes off beautifully to McNeil and misses the easy one. Good pass there by Nick. And Jason just a little hard off the glass. North Summit basketball. Calderwood goes baseline, shut off there by Mason Gines. And Weymouth loses the ball out of bounds. Good hands by McNeil. Knock it loose. Weymouth trying to save it, knocks it out of bounds. Be turnover to South Summit.
Gines has to be careful out there with 2 fouls on him.
Yep, we'll see how he can do here. Got to be able to stay in the ball game. Mason does. The South Summit much more effective with him in the ball game. Is Gines now. Gonna pull up for the jumper, high, and Gines with his 7th point on cue. I'm glad he heard me as he drills in a deep one. 17-8 lead, South Summit. 9 points now as they lead the Braves. Biggest lead of the night. And now Mason Richens cross court to an open Hunsaker. Hunsaker loses the handle. Beasley out in front, all alone. He'll go up with the left hand, and Hunsaker goes up high and blocks the shot. Hunsaker hit the pillar, padded pillar hard, but Hunsaker got up high. I think it surprised Beasley, and the North Summit student body loved that block as it was a great effort there by Hunsaker.
That was a huge block. It was blocked hard.
He went up high. Hunsaker probably looks like he's 5'11", 6 foot, and he got up really high and elevated well to block that shot. South Summit ball nonetheless on the turnover. And Beasley, top of the key, trying to set up the offense. 2 high post look, Atkinson, and Beasley's all alone. He gets hammered, and Beasley will go to the free throw line. And Hunsaker this time will pick up the foul. It'll be his 2nd. And Hunsaker going hard to the ground twice.
Grabbing his wrist a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure that hard floor as he's gone up high and hit hard 2 consecutive plays. And Beasley will get 2 free throws. Missed the first, hits the 2nd now of the night. Nick is now 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 5 points as Hunsaker will check out. So Coach Johnson has to go into the bench here with some foul trouble on both sides. Anderson and Gines, 2 fouls apiece for the Wildcats. Braden Richens and now Hunsaker with 2 for the Braves. And Beasley hits them both. 6 points for Nick. 19-8 lead. A double-figure lead now in the 2nd quarter. South Summit defense has been outstanding for South Summit. And number 40, Northrup's checked into the ball game. Richens now over to Northrup. Northrup looks like he'll now run things for the Braves with Hunsaker out. Goes over to an open Chris Richens. Trying to get a cutter into Mason. Turnaround jumper's way too hard. And it's knocked out of bounds by Calderwood. It'll be South Summit basketball. So South Summit able to build a pretty good lead right here. Chance to get it up to 13 or 14. With 5:41 left, 2nd quarter, Atkinson hands over to Danzy, trying to go crossover, open 3-pointer. Atkinson puts it on the floor. He'll get a blocking foul on Braxton Northrup.
Sorry I'm not helping you much here, Cody. I'm too interested in watching this game. I can't even sit down.
So that'll be first personal foul on Braxton Northrup. 5 team fouls on each team now. As McNeil needs some help, goes way up top to Danzy. Danzy will walk it up. South Summit has done well managing their game here on the offensive side. Very few turnovers thus far. Gines into the lane, up high off the glass, misses an easy one. Great move by Mason, and North Summit quickly out with the defensive board. Calderwood with the runner, no good, and over the back, Northrup, and he picks up 2. That'll be the 16th foul on North Summit, and that will send, from here on out, South Summit to the free throw line, as they'll have 5 minutes, 11 seconds of bonus free throw time on each free throw from here on out. As we're 3 minutes into this second quarter, South Summit's led throughout, got out to a 5-0 lead. North Summit cut it to 5, and since then it's been all South Summit. Inside to McNeil, good pass by Beasley. McNeil can't handle it, and Wayment quickly back for the Braves. Goes baseline, shut off by Danzy, gets his hand up. Gines with the loose ball, and Gines looking up court. Gonna take it all the way in, off with the left hand, Mason Gines. As athletic a move as you get, 21-8 lead, South Summit rolling. Timeout North Summit, 4:41 left, Wildcats up 13. Since it was all tied up at 5, South Summit's gone on a 16-3 run. They lead by 13 as we're halfway through the second quarter. North Summit needs a bucket out of the timeout. So they come back with Braden and Mason Gines up off the bench as Hunsaker and Braden both with 2. Great pass inside from Braden Richens over the top to Mason, and he'll get a foul. Foul's on number 1, Caden Atkinson, his first personal, 16th foul on the Wildcats. So a good call by Coach Johnson out of the timeout, and he's gambling here a little bit, Jeremy, with 2 of his starters with 2 fouls in the ball game. But he sees this one getting out of hand here by 13. South Summit's on the run. Beasley into the lane, gets the bucket. 6 points for Nick, 15-point lead, South Summit. And Hunsaker. High post look to Braden Richens. Left alone right at the free throw line. Inside to Wayment. Tough shot in traffic. No good. Atkinson with the rebound. Things going well. Mason Gines filling a three-pointer just too long off the back of the iron. Would have been a huge shot. Fortunately for the Braves, it bangs off hard, and the Braves have a chance now to try to whittle away at a 15-point lead. Wayment brings it around the perimeter. Hunsaker gets a high pick from Mason Richens. And Hunsaker goes down low to Braden Richens. Good position off the glass. Off balance, Braden Richens gets the bucket. And Braden now cuts this lead to a 13-point lead for South Summit. That was quite a move there to be able to get that shot off as he was way off balance. Just laid it off softly, got the bucket. There'll be a foul down low. 22. And that's on Braden Richens. And that's going to be his third, and immediately up off the bench comes Tyler Coleman. That's a tough foul for the Braves, as not much was going on there. It looked like a couple of guys just ran into each other, and he got a bit of a bump.
Tough call.
That is a tough call if you're on the North Summit side. That'll send Danzy to the free throw line. Brandon Danzy gets his first bucket. First free throw on a 1-and-1. Back to a 14-point lead. Danzy can cut it to extend it to 15 with the second free throw. Misses it, just rims out. And Wayment with the rebound. Still with 2 leading scorers, actually 3 leading scorers for the Braves. Still unable to score here. Wayment, Calderwood, and Mason Richens. And Coleman goes down low inside, and ball's knocked away. Stolen Aaron pass goes to Beasley up off the glass, and it's blocked again by Hunsaker from behind. Hunsaker hustling down the court to knock that ball out of bounds. And a courageous play there with 2 fouls. Fortunately, stayed out of free throw, or out of a foul. And Beasley back into the lane. Kicks out to Atkinson. 3-pointer, too hard. Fight for the board, and coming down with its Wayment. Atkinson still unable to hit from the outside. Got a bucket underneath. And no good on the shot, and the quick one. Mason Gines. Big outlet pass. Now goes over to Nick. And Beasley. South Summit slows it down. Mason Gines falling asleep right there from behind. And Mason frustrated. Goaltend with the ball up off the glass. As Mason fell asleep a little bit right there, and coming from behind is Wayment. Gets the steal, and that gets Wayment onto the scoreboard. 24-12 lead for South Summit. And we'll see if that doesn't spark North Summit a little bit as they drop into a 2-3 zone. First time we've seen the zone out of the Braves tonight. As they've been plagued a little bit with foul trouble. Is on the bench. One of the starting big guys for the Braves, Braden Richens with 3. Hunsaker in the ball game with 2. Mason Gines has continued to go as they go up high to Mason. Kicks it out to an open Atkinson. Off the mark, no good, short, and Calderwood with the rebound. 1:38 left, second quarter. Things have slowed down offensively for both teams. It almost looks like teams are a little bit tired as Caden Atkinson trying to work for position. Reaches around, he'll pick up his second personal foul. And now with 2 players in there with 2, Coach Hatch trying to decide what he'll do here with Atkinson and Gines. With 1:30 left, he's probably going to try to leave him in here with a free throw situation, and South Summit going to the offensive side, but it looks like he's conferring a bit. Mason Richens with the free throw, no good, and Gines with the big rebound. Quick outlet to Beasley. Beasley hard up off the glass, gets the bucket, and Beasley having a great ball game. 10 points on the night. Hunsaker into the lane, little runner, no good. And Gines quickly. South Summit's got numbers again. 3-on-2. Over to Beasley. Off the glass. No good, but he's fouled.
That was a beautiful pass there between those 2 North Summit Braves.
That's why you probably leave Mason in the ball game. 2 or 3 consecutive rebounds on the defensive side. And he's amazing getting the ball up the court on the break. Passing well. And Beasley now has 2 free throws. South Summit can get to their biggest lead of the ball game. 14-point lead right now, can get it to 16 as Beasley gets the free throw. Beasley, 11 points on the night.
Giants come down
here. I think a great move by Coach Hatch. No need to put Atkinson and Gines in danger of the 3rd foul on the defensive side. Great coaching there by the South Summit staff. Great check, and Peterson in for the Wildcats.
Gines played 5 minutes there without picking up that 3rd foul. It was a great job, great risk taken by Coach Hatch. Paid off for him.
Beasley with the 2nd free throw. Beasley with 12. He's leading all scorers. 16-point lead for South Summit. Defensively doing an outstanding job. It's going up high. Beautiful rebound by number 33 who's checked into the ball game, Jace Richens.
Little travel there.
Went up incredibly high as North Summit now turns the ball over. And it'll be South Summit basketball holding North Summit here to 12 points in this first half. And great check, lazy pass. Richens having an immediate effect in here. Too hard off the glass. And great check over to McNeil.
See if South Summit slows down a little bit. 44 seconds to go.
Peterson, left wing now, holds it. Back out to Beasley. No real reason to give North Summit another look at the bucket here with the ball and the big lead. Beasley now, 31 seconds left. Goes up top to Graycheck, now over to Caleb. Back to Parker, takes the 3-pointer. And going up high, McNeil has it knocked away by Wayment. And Graycheck didn't like our call of holding the ball, did he?
Didn't.
Parker goes up high with the 3-pointer, down low to Mason Richens. Beautiful job by Mason. And finally for North Summit, Mason Richens on the scoreboard. 4 seconds left, 3. Beasley with the fadeaway, no good. And North Summit gets the last bucket of the half. As South Summit doubles up the Braves here in the first half of play, 28-14. And lots of scoring there for the Wildcats, but most impressively, a great job from the defensive side. 14 points as North Summit's able to get onto the scoreboard. Jeremy, pretty good half by the Wildcats.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, that defense is playing great. Held North Summit's top 3 scorers to 2 points.
Yep, Weymouth has 2. Nope, Mason Richens has 2. And Calderwood still hasn't scored, so
held them to 4 points. That's a great job by that defense. And I think Coach Hatch took a little gamble there, leaving Mason Gines picking up his second foul with 7 minutes to go in the second quarter, and that gamble paid off for him.
Great point. We'll take a break here. Enjoy the halftime put on by the South Summit cheerleaders and Pavines. And we'll join you here shortly before the third quarter. At halftime, South Summit leads 28-14. Got about 1 minute left in halftime. Both teams back out warming up for this third quarter. Great job by the South Summit groups, cheerleaders and Favines, and a great job by South Summit, as you mentioned, Favine group taking region yesterday in Richfield. Big state tournament next week. They've been real close to winning state the last couple of years, and hopefully this year will be their year as we bring on the basketball crew here. Mason Gines with a great first half. He has 9. Caden Atkinson with 4. Nick Beasley with 12. Jason McNeil with 2 and Brandon Danzy with a point. Is that what you got?
That's exactly what I got.
All right, for North Summit, we got 5 for Hunsaker, 3 for Chris Richens, 2 for Mason Richens, 2 for Eric Wayman, and 2 for Braden Richens. So I'm sure it's been a concerted effort as South Summit has done a good job of tactically trying to hold this North Summit team down on the offensive side as they've sagged off a couple of shooters and they've guarded some others very closely. And South Summit's done a great job of containing the leading scorers we mentioned for North Summit. So Coach Johnson and his staff, I'm sure, is trying to work a way to get these leading scorers offensively moving as Wayman, Calderwood, and Mason Richens have got to get things going as Hunsaker really with 5, no one else with more than a bucket. And so we'll see what this second quarter brings. North Summit's got some work to do. Down 14, we're underway as McNeil dribbles left and goes high post look. Ball's knocked away. Good job getting the hands in there, Weymouth. And it'll be South Summit basketball in the deep corner. So Nick Beasley will inbound. Stack look on the right block for the Wildcats. Goes over to Gines. Deep three-pointer, no good. And the rebound to Weymouth. Nope, that's Calderwood with the rebound, and he hands off to Hunsaker. Hunsaker goes high post look to Richens, back to Hunsaker. Open three-pointers up, no good. And Beasley with the rebound. Beasley pushing the tempo and goes over to Gines. Trying to find Atkinson, nothing there. Holds the ball in the corner and spins around. Braden Richens goes in, and Mason Gines with the bucket. He's into double figures with 11 now, and it's a 16-point lead, biggest of the night for South Summit. And Hunsaker down low to Braden Richens, back to Mason, and again to Braden. Battles his way into the block, no good. Fight for the rebound, loose ball's kicked out of bounds. It's off at North Summit. It'll be Wildcat basketball.
You know how we talked about before the game, Caden Atkinson trying to fill in the center position, always being a perimeter player. He's played a tremendous game.
Yeah, they've done well, and he's been getting a lot of help from these perimeter defenders, sneaking their way back in, getting a lot of hands as these big post players in North Summit been putting the ball on the ground, and they're having a hard time getting it back up, able to shoot. So Anderson with the three-pointer, way too hard, and goes to Weymouth. And Weymouth quickly back, has the ball stolen. South Summit's got numbers, 3-on-2, and McNeil ducks out of the way of the pass. And McNeil let it sail right over the top of his head. He ducks, not thinking it was going to him. Fortunately, North Summit for the Wildcats gets a hand on it. It'll stay with South Summit. 6:32 left, third quarter. And McNeil will inbound. Not much going here right there for South Summit on the inbounds play. Is now in the corner. Gines in a little trouble. He spins into the lane, up off the glass, no good.
Is that Hunsaker's fourth foul?
I think it was either on Hunsaker. Yep, on Hunsaker, so that'll be his third
foul.
So now Hunsaker and Braden Richens both with 3, and that's the first team foul on the Braves, and Gines will go to the free throw line.
Beautiful take on the baseline there for Gines, just like he did the possession before.
Gines' free throws, no good. And Gines will get another look, getting close to his season average of 15. He's got 11. Nick Beasley exceeded his season average in that first half. He's got 12, 2 points higher than the season average as Beasley doing well as Gines' second free throw is good. He's got 12 now. And it's a 17-point lead, 31-14 for South Summit as Chris Richens checked in for Hunsaker. Down low, good position, Mason Richens. Beautiful move as he got the low post look and took advantage of it. Nice move there by the senior. 31-16 lead, South Summit. Now North Summit settles into a zone look as they have had trouble going against this offensive South Summit man-to-man. Just a hair too quick on the offensive dribble. Gines has penetrated numerous times. So now South Summit having to face a zone as Gines with the fadeaway jumper. And Gines with a quick 5 in the third quarter. Back up to a 17-point lead, South Summit. And North Summit now will go high post look. Little jumper by Mason Richens. And Mason Richens answering the call here on the offensive side. He quickly has 4 points in the quarter. And he's up to 6 for the ball game. 15-point lead, South Summit. And now over to Atkinson, up top to Anderson. High post look to Beasley, out to Caden. Caden pulls up a little 18-footer and bouncing around, no good. And the high rebound, tipped back to Calderwood. And Braden Richens sets the screen, and Mason with the jumper, no good. And Beasley with the rebound. Beasley up off the glass, no good. Misses the easy one. And ball's knocked away by Beasley. Good hustle by Mason Richens. And it will be North Summit basketball. 4:53 left, third quarter. Richens inbounds, and now to Waymont. Followed up the court by Anderson. Little back cut to Calderwood's too high for him. Turnover. And it'll be South Summit basketball. So things going pretty well here for South Summit as they've controlled the last two quarters, double-digit leads. And North Summit just seems a bit frustrated on the offensive side, not getting the easy shots they'd like to get. And with the 15-point lead, South Summit can afford to be patient. And they'll skip over the top to Caden Atkinson. Over to McNeil now. Mason Richens in the middle for this Brave defense. Braden Richens on the baseline. Shuts off Beasley. Good steal there by North Summit. And Waymont for the Braves. Halfway through quarter number 3. And Waymont dribbles out of trouble. Goes baseline. Gets shut off by Atkinson. Goes into Mason Richens. Turnaround jumper. No good. And Mason Gines with the rebound. Gines. Quick pass over to Anderson. Now Beasley penetrates. Goes up high to McNeil. Nothing there. Kicks it out to Atkinson. McNeil 18-footer from the baseline. No good. And South Summit last couple possessions settling for some outside shots when that penetration has been working well. As now Beasley from behind gets a hand on Mason Richens' arm, and that'll send Mason to the free throw line.
Beasley's second foul of the night.
Beasley has 2 now. First team foul on the Wildcats. And for the most part, referees have called a pretty good game thus far. Haven't heard much from them, which is always a good sign.
I think they're just letting them play.
Yep, doing well as Richens misses the first. 3:39 left. Richens' second free throw is good. 7 now for Mason Richens. 14-point lead, South Summit. As both teams have played evenly through the first 5 minutes of this third quarter. South Summit led 28-14 at the half. And it's now a 33-19 lead for the Wildcats.
See if the Wildcats can get a couple takes to the hole here.
As McNeil gets the short corner look, and now back out to Gines. Gines going to hit the three-pointer, no good. And McNeil with the rebound, kicks it out to Anderson, three-pointer. And there's a timeout on the court, 32nd one. We'll keep it here as South Summit not letting up as they have 2, 4, 5, 8 points here in the third quarter, and they've extended it out to a 17-point lead, and a good hustle that time by McNeil to keep the ball alive on the offensive side, and he kept another possession in South Summit hands, and Anderson makes him pay with the three-pointer, and North Summit now with the 30-second timeout. It's got some work to do. Down 17, struggling offensively.
That's right, McNeil was in good position there. Kind of deep as the three-pointer was taken, realizing it's probably going to be a long rebound. Came right to him, gave it right back to Anderson, dropped that three-pointer. Good basketball awareness there by Jason McNeil.
3:06 in this third quarter. As Anderson now will make North Summit work here to get the ball in. And they'll go to Waymont on a screen from Chris Richens. Waymont brings it up against Anderson. South Summit defending here, the high post look to Mason, now kicks it over to Chris Richens. Over to Braden, deflected, stolen. And Mason Gines is going to get fouled. Probably a good foul on North Summit as South Summit had a break coming. That's going to be a foul on Braden Richens, and I believe that's his fourth. And that will sit Braden Richens down with his fourth foul. Coming up off the bench will be Tyler Coleman.
It's tough for the Braves to be playing within all this foul trouble.
Yeah, Braden Richens started in foul trouble, and he's kind of been handcuffed since that first quarter. And he'll have to sit again with those 4 fouls with still 2 minutes left in the third period. Gines now. Three-pointer extended. Hands off to Beasley. Good hands by Weymouth. He'll tie the ball up. Great job by Eric Weymouth. Getting his hands on top of the ball of Beasley. And that'll turn it over to the Braves on a good defensive play by Eric. 2:28 now in the third quarter. North Summit needing a bucket. Mason Gines inbounds to Chris Richens. High post look. Mason Richens with the jumper. No good. Good look there for the Braves. Just unable to go down. And Beasley with the underhanded look. Good catch by Atkinson. He's fouled from behind.
How did that happen?
And somehow he went to the side and brought that in as North Summit was flying all around it. As I haven't seen that pass too often. Looked like a fast pitch in softball as Beasley underhands it 60 feet down the court. And Atkinson will go to the free throw line. And Atkinson gets the free throw, his 5th point of the night. First time he's been to the free throw line. 3 fouls on the Braves. And it's up to an 18-point lead. And 19, 2 for 2 from the free throw line for Caden Atkinson. 6 points is Weymouth. North Summit doubled up now, 38-19. And things going well here for the Wildcats. Richens, left wing, trying to find Coleman down low. Now he'll reshuffle, and he'll get fouled from behind by Tanner Anderson. Tanner stays on his belly there, shaking his head on the floor. And I think that's his 3rd, so 3 fouls on Tanner. Second team foul. Jeremy, you feel this gym's a little warmer, isn't it?
It is a little bit warmer. There's a lot of body heat going on.
A lot of bodies in here. As Chris Richens takes the three-pointer, no good. Goes to Mason. Nice putback by Mason. And give Mason Richens credit. He's got 9 points now. Had 2 at the break, so he's had a great third quarter with 7. And he's keeping North Summit within striking distance here. There'll be another jump ball. This time it'll go to South Summit.
That was a quick jump ball right there.
I'll say. So South Summit will inbound. And Tanner will go low baseline to Atkinson. Back door to Beasley. Wide open look. Beautiful pass. Caden Atkinson to Nick Beasley. And Nick with the first bucket of the third quarter. 14 now for Nick. Trying to go over the top to Coleman, no good. Baseball pass out ahead to an easy one to McNeil, and South Summit starting to run away with it. 42-21 lead as McNeil gets his 2nd bucket of the night on a great outlet from Atkinson. It's nice to get assists from one end of the court to the other. South Summit has passed the ball incredibly well. It's been an efficient game for South Summit. Wish we had the turnovers for the Wildcats as they haven't had many. Been a clean game, and they've taken advantage of a lot of possessions. They go down low to Mason Richens, and he just continually works hard to get that ball inside, and he'll go to the free throw line.
He's really playing well in this third quarter. Turning up his game when his team needs him.
And he needs some help. So I don't believe anyone else has even scored in this second half. As Richens now in double figures. 10 points as Northrop will check in for Chris Richens. 50 seconds left, third quarter. South Summit up by 20. Richens' 2nd free throw rattles around but goes. And Mason Richens now has his season average, 10 of them in this third period. 44 seconds left, 19-point lead for South Summit. Mason Gines will now dribble. Getting some direction from Coach Hatch. Tells him to back it out with 32 seconds left. And North Summit content to give South Summit the shot. As Mason just yo-yoing the dribble. Way out by the half-court line. 17 seconds.
They are content. They don't want to give him isolation, do they?
Nope. He's too quick off the dribble. They go up top to Beasley. Beasley takes the three-pointer. No good off the front of the rim. Nice rebound by Coleman. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Northrop with the shot, no good. And at the end of 3, South Summit extends a 14-point halftime lead to a 19-point third quarter lead, 42-23. Minutes of basketball left. South Summit High School. Jeremy Fierro, Cody Bowen bringing you another great game here between North Summit and South Summit. South Summit's had the upper hand throughout. North Summit's got 8 minutes to trim a 19-point lead as the offense just has not gotten into a flow this game here on the road for the Braves as Northrop takes the three-pointer, and that's a good way to get it started as Braxton Northrop with a three-pointer on the first possession of the fourth quarter. It's now back to a 16-point lead, and Gines will back it out. He's going to try to draw North Summit out, and North Summit's going to have to extend a little bit. Can't afford to give up possessions. Down by 16, so they're going to have to take their chances with defense and try to get some help, and then there's almost a turnover as Gines runs it down.
Getting guarded, just what he wanted out on top of the key.
And there he goes. Mason up high. He's fouled and will go to the free throw line. Woo! Playing right into Mason's hands as he holds it out, gets some close ball pressure, goes right around the defender, up high off the glass, finishes, and couldn't have drawn it up any better for South Summit as Gines gets the bucket and the free throw, and Gines having a great second half. He's got 8 in the second half. South Summit leads by 19. Coleman, high post look, goes inside over the top. Jason McNeil will get the foul to Calderwood. Calderwood still scoreless for the Braves. And Weymouth only with the bucket. Mason Richens in double figures for North Summit. And Northrop will try to go inside to Mason Richens. It's knocked away by Caden Atkinson. Northrop will trigger for the Braves. Northrop down low to Richens, up top to Tyler Coleman, three-pointer up, and Tyler Coleman, the big guy, hits the three-pointer, and he gets another three-point bucket for the Braves. Consecutive three-point buckets for North Summit, back to a 16-point lead. And Beasley now will go top of the key, takes the little 16-footer, no good, and Northrop with the high rebound. North Summit staying in this thing, can trim it down to 15 or, 13 or 14. Got to take advantage of each possession here. Up top to Calderwood. Calderwood over to Northrop. And Coleman thought about another three. They go up high, and now Northrop. Good closeout by Caden Atkinson. Weymouth over to Coleman. And Coleman goes over to Northrop, takes the open three, no good. And Beasley with the board, and South Summit out quickly. Beasley into the center, kicks over to an open McNeil, and Caden Atkinson will back it out. Gines isolated. There he goes. Gines into the lane, up off the glass, almost good. And Gines will go to the free throw line. And the foul will be on number 13, Calderwood.
I don't know how you guard Gines at the top of the key. No matter who's on him, he finds a way to get that first step and take it to the basket.
Yep. You almost got to double him and make someone else take it. I mean, ideally, that zone would have worked better. You just can't go into it with 16-point deficit. And so it's playing right into the hands of the quickness of Mason Gines, and he's taking advantage, misses the first free throw, and misses the second. And Weymouth gets the rebound for the Braves. Calderwood inside low to Mason Richens, knocked away. It'll be North Summit ball. So Coach Johnson getting in the play call from the baseline. Stacking the look on the right side over to Calderwood, guarded closely by Anderson. Calderwood with the little jumper, no good. And Gines with the rebound, kicks it out high to McNeil. And McNeil on the run again. Beautiful assist from Gines, having an all-around great game. Mason. As we mentioned, when Mason plays well, South Summit's tough to beat, and he's had a great game as they go inside, fight for the board or for the loose ball. And Mason Gines gets tripped up. Slides out of bounds, trying to keep the ball in play as McNeil and Anderson help him up. It'll be North Summit basketball. 5:10 left in the ball game. South Summit leading by 18. And it's time starting to run out on North Summit as they go up high over to Northrop. Now up to Coleman. Another three-pointer for Coleman, this time off the right side. Calderwood on the putback. And Calderwood gets his first bucket of the night.
Nice rebound there by Calderwood.
16-point lead for the Wildcats. As Braden Richens and Hunsaker, two in foul trouble, will check in for the Braves. Beasley goes up top to McNeil. And now Gines, isolated up top. There he goes. In the lane, up off the glass, no good. And Coleman with the good rebound. Northrop inside to Mason Richens, kicks it out to Coleman. And Mason now inside, good position for Coleman, up hard. Good strong move by Tyler Coleman on a nice entry pass from Mason Richens. And Tyler Coleman will go to the free throw line. Coleman playing good minutes in this fourth quarter. He'll get two free throws.
Beasley picks up his third foul there.
5 team fouls on South Summit. Coleman's free throw just short, no good. And Hunsaker will check in for Northrop. So Hunsaker's sat for a few minutes here with the 3 fouls. Coleman will shoot another free throw. And he misses both, but Richens with the big offensive board, no good. Weymouth with the putback, no good. Nope, that's Calderwood with the putback. And Beasley chumps into the crowd. Hopefully everyone's okay, and they are. Now somebody got a lap full of Nick Beasley right there.
He landed right on the bench, I think. Found the only empty seat in the house.
It's a timeout, 4:14 left. South Summit leading 47-31. .414 left in the ball game. Be North Summit basketball. Calderwood will inbound. Go up to Mason and back to Curtis. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be North Summit ball. As we look now back at this game, we were worried about the size of North Summit, and still a good enemy for the Wildcats, but the speed of South Summit has taken the upper hand tonight. They've been able to get up and down the court really well, get a lot of easy buckets and some good defensive pressure. has provided a lot of fast breaks for South Summit as Hunsaker goes in the lane, gets a bucket as Hunsaker gets his first points of the second half. 47-33 lead.
Wildcats done a great job getting their hands all over the ball and in the face of North Summit as they're on offense. Great job of defense tonight by these Wildcats.
Anderson double team, goes over to Mason Gines, and he's fouled. And Calderwood will send Mason Gines to the free throw line. Is that the 6th foul or the 7th? Looks just like the 6th, so they need one more to get into the bonus. That's the second foul on Curtis Calderwood. Gines now will go to Anderson. And they'll foul him again.
They want to get them on the line, don't they?
And Mason is tonight. It's like he's 2 for 6 tonight from the free throw line. So if South Summit has a bit of a weakness, it could be from the free throw line. See if North Summit can pay off. And it does right there on the turnover as Gines misses the first of a 1-and-1, and Hunsaker goes up high and he'll get hammered. Atkinson going hard down to the ground, and the foul will be on Caden Atkinson. That's his third. And that'll send Calvin to the free throw line. 4-2, trailing by 14.
That's how we started the quarter, isn't it?
That's how we started the half, right there. So give North Summit credit. They fought their way back here from a 21-point lead. It's down to 13 now. Calderwood checks out. And Hunsaker's got another one. Can cut it now to 12. 3.5 minutes left. Still plenty of time. That's Hunsaker. Hunsaker misses the second, and Gines. And the ball goes off the foot of number 12 who's checked in. And that is Daniel Stevens.
They're trying to foul Gines as soon as he gets the ball.
Might be good for Mason to have to shoot some big free throws right here as Mason goes deep. Nothing there. And over the top to Beasley. And Beasley will bring it up for South Summit. He gets a bumping foul going to the hole. Should be a 1-and-1 is my guess. Foul's on number 15, blocking foul, so it'll be a 1-and-1. And checking back in is Calderwood for Stevens.
Let's see what Beasley can do from the line here. These are important free throws. Wildcats do not want to let the Braves any more back into this game and give them hope.
Beasley second, no good. So consecutive misses on 1-and-1s. And North Summit with urgency. Tries to go inside, knocked away. Richens with the shot, no good, and South Summit with the rebound. And Braden Richens will foul from behind, and that'll send Mason Gines to the free throw line, and Braden Richens will foul out of this ball game. Braden Richens has 2 points on the night.
Tough game for him tonight.
Yep, it's been a frustrating game for him, I'm sure, as he's had foul trouble throughout. So he gets a hand from his crowd on a hard-fought night from Braden Richens. 19 fouls now on the Braves. So one more 1-and-1 for South Summit. They've missed the first 2. Giants free throw this time is good.
Is that his 18th points?
Let's see.
I think it is.
Yep, 18 points for Mason. And this one's short. So he's 3 above his season average. 14-point lead, exactly 3 minutes on the clock. North Summit needs to score quick and often as Northrop checks in for Richens. Calderwood has the ball stolen away. South Summit, and they'll foul Gines again. And Mason Richens will pick up the foul, send Mason Gines to the free throw line.
Double bonus now, Cody.
Double bonus for the Wildcats.
They called the foul on number 2, but I don't even see a number 2 on the court.
I thought it was clearly number 4. Mason hits the free throw, getting a little shooting advice from Coach Hatch. It pays off, telling him to hold that follow through up high instead of snapping it so much. Mason, 2 better looking free throws as he hit the first. 19 points on the night, 15-point lead. As Hunsaker gets into the lane. Little runner off the glass and good for Hunsaker.
I really liked watching the play of Hunsaker tonight. He's a great ball player.
Likes to go hard into the lane, and Richens will foul him again. Been a long... Who did they give it to?
I know, they gave it to him again, but they're saying it's only his second foul, and I feel like it's a lot more than that. What do I know? All we do know is Mason's on the line again. He's getting a lot of practice.
Got a lot of free throws tonight. And he hits it.
There's number 20 for him. 20 points for Giants. Senior year home game against North Summit.
Mason's down now to how many home games? See, we've played Summit Academy on the road. We've played Mazer on the road. And we've played AOA on the road.
So we have 3 left.
3 more home games left for the South Summit basketball team. Northrup with the 3-pointer. Beautiful shot by Northrup. And Northrup's got 2 3-pointers. The lead's down to 11 again. North Summit takes a timeout with the lead 50-39. .216 left in the ball game. South Summit leading by 11. Has had a double-digit lead since end of the first period.
One point it was up to 21, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was up over 20. As you mentioned, South Summit's let some big leads get whittled down in the late part of the fourth quarter, and hopefully this one gets no less than what it's at right now for the Wildcats, as the Braves doing a great job of fighting hard to the end, as now McNeil pulls it out. Wise move there by Jason. And they'll foul Tanner Anderson. Hunsaker's probably his 4th. And it is.
Good person to foul for South Summit there. Tanner Anderson's a good shooter. Who's the South Summit crowd calling for?
I don't know who they're calling for.
Petey, I think. That'd be Peterson.
Tanner Anderson gets the first free throw. He's got 4 on the night. And Tanner's second. No good. So 1 of 2 from the line for Tanner Anderson. Mason Richens with another rebound. Hunsaker in, ball's knocked away, blocked by Nick Beasley. It'll stay with North Summit.
Nick's happy about that one, as Hunsaker got him twice good tonight.
A couple of big ones from behind. And Calderwood goes to Richens. Hunsaker trying to find some help. Richens pulls up for the 3-pointer, almost goes down, and McNeil with the rebound. And Tanner Anderson will bring it up for the Wildcats. Over to Beasley. And North Summit choosing not to foul quickly on this possession. South Summit pulls it out. And McNeil now. It's like Richens trying to foul. He didn't get the call either time there on McNeil. And McNeil playing keep away. And there'll be a timeout. Full timeout by Coach Hatch. Good time to work on this offensive set. Well, big lead, 1:14 left. We'll take one more timeout. South Summit leading by 12. As we look ahead to next week's schedule for South Summit boys basketball, they are at Providence Hall this Friday. Then another big one now. If they hold on right here, they'll be in a second place position in the region standings. And if they can get a win at Providence Hall Friday night, which hopefully they should, that'll set up another huge win next Wednesday night at home against Summit Academy for the region lead. So lots of good basketball coming, as it'll be South Summit basketball down in the baseline. Gines will inbound, go over to Atkinson, and South Summit hands off now to Beasley. Beasley around the baseline, over to McNeil. And McNeil pulls the ball out, and he's going to be fouled. We'll go to the free throw line. So next Wednesday, Summit Academy here at South Summit.
That's a big game.
That would be a huge game. Next Friday night at Mazer, February 5th. Then Wednesday, February 10th, home at American Leadership, with American Leadership at home. Wednesday, February 10th is Beasley's free throw. Rolls in, and Beasley gets the free throw.
That's his 15th point of the night.
And then they close out the season 2 weeks from Friday, February 12th at North Summit. So that's the remaining schedule for South Summit. And for North Summit, we'll look up their schedule as well. North Summit has a big one this Friday at Summit Academy. And now with this one pretty well secured, South Summit will be cheering on North Summit to get a road win at Summit Academy, as North Summit played Summit Academy earlier in the year, earlier in the season, and lost 63-54. And it was a close game, so could happen this Friday, as North Summit will be at Summit Academy, as Caden Atkinson's the free throw line, hits the first, and Caden now with 2, 4, 6, 7 points on the night, one away from his season average. And misses the second. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be South Summit basketball. So Friday the 29th at Summit Academy for North Summit. Wednesday, February 3rd, home with Mazer. Friday, February 5th at American Leadership. Wednesday, February 10th at Providence Hall. And Friday, February 12th, hosting South Summit for the final region game, as Caden Atkinson will go to the free throw line one more time. 47 seconds left, and the foul is on Northrop, his third. Atkinson hits the free throw. There's his season average, 8 points. 15-point lead for the Wildcats. And Caden hits them both. 9 points now for Caden. 45 seconds left. Hunsaker passing off and stolen by Atkinson. And Anderson now will pass over to Gines. 35 seconds left. And Coach Johnson calls off North Summit from fouling, and that's going to wind this thing down, as South Summit's going to win a big game at home. As you mentioned, you got to win region games at home. South Summit's done that thus far, with the only loss of the region schedule at Summit Academy. So South Summit wins 4 out of the first 5 of halfway through Region 16 schedule. And North Summit now will go into the second half with a 3-2 mark. So Summit Academy, providing they won against Providence Hall tonight, will go to the top of the region standings at 5-0. South Summit will be in second place at 4-1, and North Summit in third place at 3-2. Hard-fought game as South Summit proving to be a little too quick tonight off the dribble and on the defensive pressure, and they get the win 55-39. Sure, Jeremy, you want to go over those scores?
Sure, we got
South Summit
Giants with 20 points tonight. Had 2 fouls to start off the first quarter and just stayed strong.
Yep,
and still played good defense. Great job by him. Nick Beasley, 15. Caden Atkinson with 9. Jason McNeil with 6. 10 Anderson with 4. And Brandon Danzy had an free throw with 1. I think it was a great job overall by those South Summit boys. You know, I feel like, Cody, they're improving each time I see them. I know you was telling me their season averages, and I feel like every time you tell me, they score a little bit more each game. So that's a good sign for the Wildcats.
Yep, moving in the right direction for North Summit. Mason Richens ends up leading North Summit in scoring with 11. Hunsaker with 10. Chris Richens with 3. Curtis Calderwood with the bucket. Eric Wayment with the bucket. Tyler Coleman with 3. Braden Richens with 2. And Braxton Northrup with 6. So we appreciate you joining us tonight. As one of always, a hard-fought game between these two. South Summit gets the upper hand at home. So they hold it home, and it will be 5 games ahead of the region schedule. 3 at home for the Wildcats, and 2 more for the road games for South Summit. So good game tonight. Congratulations to both teams. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate Tyler Horrocks' good work on the camera, along with Jordan Howe's good work, and we appreciate Caden Bell working the technology for us. Jeremy Fierro running the show here with the technology, and for Jeremy and Cody Bowen. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Great win for South Summit as they win 55-39. Just 1 game next week on the schedule. We will have a home game tomorrow night. South Summit girls basketball, 7 o'clock, Mazer Prep in town to take on the Wildcats, as South Summit going into the second half of the region schedule. Girls in 4th place at 2-3, and Mazer Prep at 3-2 will be fighting for that 3rd place spot, and South Summit trying to work their way up into the 2nd or 3rd place spot would be a lot better than that 4th place spot. So hopefully they can get Mazer Prep tomorrow night at home at 7. Please join us, and till then, have a great night. We'll see you then.